Okay, welcome to the deep dive. We're jumping into some really fascinating source material today.
Yeah, this one came from you, our listener.
That's right. It's excerpts from a YouTube transcript. Features Clif High, and he's got some, well, pretty unique takes on things.
It's definitely unique. So our mission today really is to unpack his way of looking at reality.
His framework, yeah.
Exactly. And this whole idea he has about a secrets revealed period.
Right. And how he connects um, psychic stuff, global events.
And weirdly specific materials, like really specific.
So we're going to explore how he reads these signals, these qualia, as he calls them.
Little hints from the universe, supposedly.
Yeah, hints about what's coming. And we'll use the example straight from the text you sent us.
It's like getting a peek inside one person's very particular method for trying to figure out what's next.
Okay, so let's start with that framework, his analytical approach.
Right. He compares himself to a scientist.
Like someone studying jellyfish. That was the analogy.
Exactly. Someone who gets totally obsessed with jellyfish goes super deep into that one thing.
Learning all the fractal complexity.
But by doing that, by focusing so narrowly, they end up understanding the whole ocean better, the big picture.
So his jellyfish is time and related concepts.
Seems like it. He talks about being really in tune with these qualia the universe sends out.
Hints about the future, the parameters.
Yeah. And he claims to apply sort of scientific rigor to analyzing it all.
Which is interesting because he contrasts that with his friend Heidi.
Right, who he describes as psychic. He says she often gets to the same conclusions.
But intuitively, without all his detailed crunching.
Exactly. No looping analysis for her, apparently.
And he admits his own analysis is cyclical. Looping on looping, he called it.
And that conclusions change, they evolve, it's not static, it's an ongoing thing.
Okay, so this secrets revealed period, that seems central.
Very central. He's quite clear. We're in it right now, deep in it.
And it's going to take a while.
Yeah, he says it's lengthy. Why? Because there are, and this is his phrase, a lot of secrets to be revealed.
And not just like political secrets or UFO files, though those are in there too.
No, he says it goes much deeper. And importantly, he thinks this whole period leads somewhere specific.
Which is?
A huge innovation boom. So it's not just about uncovering the past.
It's a catalyst for new tech, new ways of doing things.
Precisely. And he pinpoints now, like early June 2025 in the source.
As a particular turning point.
Yes. And crucially, he says this turning point is relative to silver.
Silver. Okay, we'll definitely have to circle back to that.
Oh, yeah. He expects the next couple of years from this point in the source to be really intense.
Especially for normies, was the term. People less prepared.
Right. And this intensity, he argues, is going to raise the threshold of credulity.
Meaning people will start believing things that sound completely wild now?
Pretty much. His example was something like, people just accepting, oh yeah, the Chinese are mining on the moon.
Like we're shifting into a sci-fi world.
That's his term for it, yeah. Sci-fi world.
Okay, so that leads us neatly into the psychic stuff.
Heidi. Right. He says, point blank, she's psychic. No doubt in his mind. And she has psychic friends too.
But he's analyzing what that means within his model.
Exactly. He poses this question, is being psychic about getting a direct feed from the ontology, the basic structure of reality, like pure qualia?
Or is it more about being plugged into the event stream, what's actually happening day to day?
Right. The unfolding reality. He uses that golf analogy.
Yeah, the golf analogy. So the ontology qualia feed is like the caddy.
Or the pro, yeah. Telling you the course layout, the big picture, the fundamentals.
Whereas the event stream connection, that's like the golfer themselves.
Head down, reading the green, the grass, the wind, the immediate manifest details.
The stuff happening right there on the ground.
Exactly. And he leans towards psychics being more connected to that.
To the churn of the event stream.
And that's the word he uses, yeah, the churn.
Does he give examples?
He does. Anecdotes, mainly. Like he'll discuss something with Heidi.
And then, boom, the next day it manifests in her life. Really clearly.
Yeah, suggesting that super tight connection to what's unfolding right then.
He also mentioned that weird thing about plane crashes.
Oh, yeah, that was striking. He said, back in the day, talks with her were often followed by plane crashes.
Not that they caused them. He was clear on that.
No, but the correlation was apparently just really noticeable, a data point for him.
And he has this observation about psychics finding it harder to read their own lives.
Right. He calls it a potential design pattern, like maybe it's built in.
Stop them getting too self-absorbed. or manipulating things too much for themselves.
Kind of. To avoid becoming self-centered was his thought.
Interesting idea.
Plus, even though he's questioning the how, he sees Heidi herself as important input.
Absolutely. A Qualia delivery vehicle, he calls her. He listens closely to her impressions.
Even the negative ones?
Especially the negative ones, it seems. He thinks they offer really valuable hints. Okay, so let's connect that back to Silver. You said the turning point was relative to Silver.
Right, and this connects to Heidi. Because she apparently keeps giving him grief about Silver.
Grief? How so?
Just dissing it, he says. Calling it old, a relic. Just a rock. Giving him real shit about it.
And she brings it up herself.
Yeah.
Without him asking.
Yeah, unprompted.
Yeah.
And he takes that repetition, that negativity from her, someone he sees as tied to the event stream.
As a really significant qualia, a hint.
Exactly, a signal to pay attention.
And he connects that feeling, that qualia, to the actual market.
Directly. He points to the silver price in early June 2025 in the source, popping over $34.
So the market move confirms the timing signal he was getting.
That's how he frames it, like the universe is telling us stuff about the timing relative to the silver.
Wow. And he mentions ERD reports, too, from way back.
Yeah, old ultra reports, he calls them, pre-2000.
Predicting current conditions.
Things like the end of silver suppression, which he ties to this secrets revealed period.
What else did they predict?
Degradation of the dollar, strain between gold and silver, and rising demand for silver for technical use.
Technical use, okay. And that ties into some even bigger claims, right?
Uh-huh. This is where it gets really out there. He mentions Trump's associates.
Saying what?
Saying that controlling space and time requires big chunks of silver.
Controlling space and time? Seriously. With silver.
And mercury, he adds. He links it to advanced tech mentioned in those old reports.
Does he explain how silver would do that? Or is it just relaying the claim?
It's more relaying the claim from these associates, but he seems to integrate it as a key piece connecting these old reports and current events. The how isn't really detailed in what we have.
Okay. But he adds other layers to silver, too. Its reputation.
Yeah, points out it's historically seen as a psychic metal used by intuitives.
Adds to the mystique, I guess.
And he gets into the physics a bit, or the chemistry.
Oh.
Talks about isotopes. Gold has one stable isotope, silver has two.
Okay.
And one of those silver isotopes, silver 107, is rarer and not evenly spread out.
And he thinks that's important.
Very. He states there's an expectation of a revelation about silver's real nature and use.
Tied specifically to this isotope thing.
Seems so. He thinks some details might stay classified, national security and all that.
But the core secret about silver's properties is coming out.
That's his expectation. And he links it all up. Silver, UFOs, ZPT.
Zero-point technology. Free energy concepts.
Yep. He suggests these advanced technologies will all require silver.
And not just for soldering wires like normal tech.
No, for this new advanced application tied to its unique, maybe isotopic properties.
It's a lot to take in. He mentioned Mexico, too.
Just that Mexico has the most silver, and then he kind of jokes maybe Trump will want to take it over for the silver. Lighthearted bit.
So the timing prediction for silver, based on all this.
A rise in June 2025, which he says happened, then a sharp uptick to a much higher level in July 2025.
Driven by the secrets revealed dynamic.
That's the engine, in his view.
Okay. Stepping back a bit. He also talks about general social weirdness.
Yeah, he observes that while he's dealing with his own stuff, like moving.
The social order's getting a little batshit.
His word. His words. And he expects it to get way more intense through June and July 2025.
More tension.
Much more. And interestingly, he throws in that Vic astrologers.
Astrologers?
Yeah, are apparently also pointing to June and July 2025 as a time of high social tension.
So, different reason, same conclusion.
Kind of. He just notes it as another observation pointing to rising tension, whatever the cause.
Geopolitics could play into that, too. NATO, Russia.
He mentions it as a potential factor, adding tension, yeah, but he doesn't seem to expect actual conflict there, at least not in this source.
The main takeaway seems to be this shift.
Into the sci-fi world. Deeper and broader now. It's not just fringe stuff anymore. It's becoming mainstream reality.
So he sees this summer, June, July 2025.
As wild, wacky, and crucially propelled by silver.
Marking a clear line.
Yeah, the separation between pre- and post-sci-fi world emergence. Like, after this, things are fundamentally different. Your baseline reality shifts.
Got it. There was also that quick news bit he mentioned.
Oh, yeah, just a factual aside. A Russian lawmaker joking about offering Elon Musk asylum after a spat with Trump. Just a random data point he threw in.
Okay, so let's try to wrap this deep dive up. We've looked at the source material you sent.
Focusing on Clif High's really unique way of analyzing things, reading the Qualia.
This idea of a secrets revealed period that's not just about history, but about changing reality and sparking innovation.
Right. And his attempt to understand psychic input, is it from the deep structure, the ontology, or the day-to-day event stream?
Using his friend Heidi's insights as a kind of qualia delivery vehicle.
And then this whole deep dive into silver, it's a potential role in this emerging sci-fi world.
Connecting it to advanced tech, its history, its physical properties, market moves. It's quite a tapestry he weaves.
It really is. One individual's attempt to synthesize a ton of disparate information into a forecast.
So maybe a final thought for you listening. In a world where, according to this source at least, secrets are spilling out and things are getting stranger, how might you start looking for those hidden signals, those little qualia or event stream clues that hint at what's really going on under the surface?